I did have an idea. They told me. They sent me an invite, actually. First of all, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I want to welcome young Victor to Homeboy Industries' first day here. You're in a good place, and if you stay long enough, you'll see that. So I didn't know what I was going to talk about today, because there's so many things that I always want to talk about that go through my head. And so I wanted to start today off with a quote, because I wanted to talk about flying. And this is a quote from a very unlikely source for me. This is a quote from Coco Chanel. I don't think I'm a Chanel guy. But this is the quote: "If you were born without wings, do nothing to prevent them from growing." And so that translates to me like, just because I wasn't born a bird doesn't mean that I can't fly. And what made me think about that is that I have this daughter. I have two daughters, but I have this one daughter in particular. Her name's Isabel, and she's my oldest daughter. She turned 24 this month. She turned 24 on May 12th. And so last year we kind of started a tradition where I asked her, what do you want to do, as opposed to what do you want for your birthday. And last year we went on a helicopter ride, and I went with her. And it was beautiful. And then this year, I said, what do you want to do? She said, I want us to skydive. I said, that'll be great. You will skydive. I'm gonna pull myself out of that we right there. So I wasn't too thrilled about that, but it's what she wanted to do. And I was out of her life for many, many, many years because I was in prison. So I kind of feel obligated to give my children what they ask me for. They don't ask me for much. I'm glad, because I'd be in trouble if they did. But this is what she wanted to do, so we did. So we went out to Lake Paris, and I watched this child of mine put on this gear, and I watched her walk to this airplane, and I watched her get on the plane, and I watched the plane take off. And it takes about 20 minutes before you start to see the jumpers. And so those are the longest 20 minutes of my life. I had everybody was on standby for the text when I saw her when she landed. Her mom, her sister, her brother, my mom, my dad, everybody, like as soon as she touches down, you let us know. So I gotta have texts on standby and all that stuff. And I'm waiting. And as I'm waiting during these 20 minutes, I'm thinking about our lives together, me and this child. And I remember how most of her life she spent without me. And how many birthdays was I not there? And I got really emotional. You know, I got really emotional, and I started to cry. And I'm looking up, and then I see it, and I had asked the instructor, what color parachute is she gonna have? And he had told me we're gonna have a green parachute with 2 black stripes. And so I see the parachute up in the sky, and I know that's my child, like thousands of feet up in the air, and she's flying, right? And I get to see this today, right? And I get to see this because I chose to change my life. I chose to allow the process of transformation to exist in my life from the moment that I came through the doors of Homeboy Industries. You know, and it was a beautiful thing to be there on the ground, because people were like, what are you gonna do? I said, well, I gotta go, because who else is gonna catch me, right? I'm her dad. And I was able to do that, see her land and greet her. And then we went home, right? And things kind of settled down. And I thought I was over the emotions. And then she posted a picture on social media. And it's this picture, because we bought her a little package for, you know, the film and all that. And it's this picture where she's right at the door of the airplane, and her hair is just wild, flying, and you see the ground thousands of feet below. And she put these tags, right, on her post. She put this one tag that got me. right? She put, I flew. And this is the child that has so many resentments with me. This is the child that wouldn't forgive me. This is the child that said, I refuse to do what you did. I'm not going to get high. I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to be mad at you for a really long time. And she wasn't. And she chose the higher road all the time. She just dealt with her pain. She dealt with the dad that she had. She dealt with the mom that she had. She dealt with the fact that her brother got killed when he was 17. She dealt with all of that. And she never got high. She never got drunk. She just dealt with it. And I knew that, like, she had been steady, putting her feet to the ground the whole time. She was a rock, and she couldn't fly into that moment. And that's what hit me, that finally my child could fly. Finally, she found some freedom. Because we're all prisoners, man. And that's kind of what my thought of the day is, like, don't keep yourself from flying. Don't keep yourself in the cage. Because we tend to do that. We tend to keep ourselves in this cage of self-doubt, of low self-esteem, all the things that lifestyle out there brought into our hearts and to our spirits. We let that imprison us. So my thought of the day today is, if the opportunity comes for you to fly, fly.